Good morning, everyone. The sun is shining and I am on my way to church. Happy Wednesday. As I am filming this, it is currently Ash Wednesday here. And so I am all dressed, ready to go to church. I have never, as you will of course have realized, never spent an Ash Wednesday with my new church. So I am a bit excited because it's another new step in my little journey with this new church. So I'm interested to see how they do it, because I was talking to my teta yesterday when I caught up with her, and she was saying a few things that her church has already done. And my teta is kind of like me in that we have our family Melkite church that our whole family go to, but she also has a more local church that she tends to attend a lot more often. And so she was explaining all of that to me. So I'm very curious how this is going to go. The sun is shining. Have I told you all I love being a Christian? Because I love being a Christian. Honestly, this church was just meant to be. Like, it's so beautiful. Anyway, without repeating myself in the manner I have every Sunday since I started coming here, that was beautiful. The whole Lent, and it is annually anyway, but the whole Lent service is basically about, you know, how you're meant to take a private time to experience the discipline that comes from giving something up and reflecting on that, and you know, that sort of give that you feel at the end come Easter time. So that was beautiful. Actually, some of the ideas that the priest was giving us to give up, for example, he mentioned that he was giving up streaming. I never even thought of that. Not that I have a problem with it, because I seldom watch anything. But he was saying that he's choosing to give up streaming services for Lent. I think a lot of people do food related things, probably because for a lot of us that is our primary, you know, issue. But you know, like I mentioned, you know, 2 Lents ago, I gave up social media. It is by far, upon reflection, the best thing I have ever done in terms of Lent. Like, it's the best Lent I've ever experienced. So I'm really happy with that. I don't know if I can feel the air conditioning. Please tell me that doesn't mean that it has stopped working. No, it is working. Oh, but yeah, like, it was beautiful. I am sticking to what I mentioned. I am going to be giving up sweets, like of all account bar fruit. Obviously I don't mean fruit, but like just junk sweets. And I think I'll be adding, my intention is to make sure that I read that page in the Lenten program every morning instead of my book, or both. As long as I at least do that, as I did this morning. I tried so hard this morning, guys, to record what I could, but it is very difficult to vlog something such as church, especially this morning, because this morning, how sweet, the school adjacent to the church came in for this morning's service, which I thought was beautiful. So that was really, really nice. And of course, I'm not going to vlog people that don't want to be vlogged, especially not children, or not necessarily don't want to be, but don't have, you know, haven't expressed consent in advance. Anyway, beautiful way to start the day. Beautiful way to start Lent. Now, I better get home. I'm glad I'm now ready for the day though. And that's the really good thing about getting ready so early. I'm ready for the day, so that puts me ahead. It just means I won't be exercising this morning, because otherwise then I'll have to sweat and shower and get redressed and all of that jazz. But I can now be ahead of other things, so I'll go straight into my lesson planning for the day, and hopefully some editing as well. I am now back home. Ow, my hair. This is what I wore to church this morning. However, it did get a little bit cool, and I ended up putting a cardigan on top of this, because this is only a very thin fabric. I'm wearing an abaya, which is like a very traditional outfit to wear for Middle Eastern women. in the Middle East. Now, actually, you see a lot of us wearing this out here too. It's typical of Muslim women. It is a very hijabi friendly type of outfit. And as someone who likes modest fashion, who is of also Middle Eastern descent, I love it too. So this is what I wore this morning with my black sandals and the same silver accessories as yesterday. Now, the black sandals I may change, I'm not sure, or just like as in before work. The only reason I went with the black sandals is because the cardigan I took with me had, I think you would have seen, had black stripes on it. But actually, I think because it's warmed up a lot now, I don't need it anymore. But I think it would be nicer with warmer sandals. Now I'm confused. So I thought maybe because I already had such cooler tones, I could warm it up with warm tones. But actually, maybe the black went better. I don't know. First world problems. Okay, let's change and try now. No, actually, perhaps I was wrong. Oh, I'm very confused. Perhaps I was wrong. Maybe the cool and cool blend together better. Yeah, I'll go back to black. I am definitely someone who tries to wear more warm tones at times, as in I try to force that element into my wardrobe. So I don't really wear a lot of browns and neutrals. I am very much someone who gravitates towards those cooler colors like green and blue and black. Not necessarily grey. I'm not a huge fan of grey, but definitely those three that I just mentioned. I love those colors. And then there might be bits of inflections of like burgundy and especially baby pink, but specific shades of green like emerald green and blue like aqua blue and just any shade of black I am so on board with. So I think maybe I just need to accept that when it comes to accessories, black is my go-to. Kind of like over the years I've had to come to accept that it's not silver for me, although I'm wearing silver now and I do love it and I love rose gold as well. But I think yellow gold is definitely my favorite. There's something about black and something about yellow gold. So, and actually, you know what? I'm sure if I were to change into although just like I thought with the shoes, maybe I was wrong. But if I were to change into yellow gold now instead of the silver that I have on, I imagine it would just add a brightness to the outfit that to me doesn't exist at the moment. But I went with silver because that was what was already out from yesterday when I got ready for church this morning. And I'm wearing grey, so one would argue that silver and grey go nicely together. Anyway, I need to go lesson plan for work today. And before I forget, get ready for tonight's surprise. So yesterday, I don't know if that was in today's vlog or if I have left you when I said that in the previous vlog. But today, the surprise is happening. This is going to be such a beautiful vlog, starting off the day today with Ash Wednesday, into the Lenten month, and then to the surprise tonight. So stay tuned. Something is happening tonight. It's a bit late tonight putting you guys away, isn't it? Oh, where are you going? No. Inside. Inside, my loves. Don't get confused. You know where to go. All right, I have to speak a little bit quietly, not too quietly, but a bit quietly because I'm going to tell you what is now happening for the rest of the evening. So work is now finished. I don't know if you can tell because I have a ring light, but it is actually quite dark now. That's how late it is. And my father is currently at the airport. Why? Because he is picking up the surprise. So right now, my dad is getting Uncle PJ. I tried to make that suspenseful, but I think it was just awkward pauses. My Uncle PJ is coming here in about an hour's time. He should already be out of the gates and my dad should have him and they'll be leaving soon to come back. My Uncle PJ is surprising his brother, my grandfather, by coming back to Australia. When he left a year ago, he told my grandfather it was probably the last time he'd be coming to Australia. Basically, you're getting to a point where traveling, if you consider from Ireland to Australia, is quite difficult. And also he has other destinations that he really wanted to tick off his bucket list before he ever tried to come back here. Now, in fairness, he's done a lot of traveling over the last year, but he has somehow made it work that he can come back to Australia. So I am super excited. I have only known for a few days. So it's actually been a little bit like overwhelmingly excitement. as well as me trying to just remind myself it's a secret, no one knows, you have to keep a secret. So I am so glad that this is almost over, because I think it's been about 3 days that I've known, and the amount of times I've wanted to say something to my grandparents and then I'm like, no, it's a surprise, they don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to go upstairs, I'm going to have my dinner, I'm going to post a short video for you guys, and then hopefully by that point my uncle, well, my great uncle I should say, will be here. I know I just got up and started recording and you've no idea why, but I promise you, you want this on camera.
Hello everybody.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hello.
How are you going? I decided last week I'd go over and see my favourite sister-in-law. I know you want to say bullshit.
No, she wants to say, go say it, Granny. Say it. We're all waiting for it.
Fuck it.
Yeah! That's an inside joke. Surprise! Look who's here. Hi! Good morning, duckies. Yeah. And oops, I already see one. There's, oh, this is why we check, because they hide them. One. Oops, here's two. I don't even know if you guys just saw that, sorry. Oh, and someone's been burying themselves into a new nest. Sometimes they use the nests and then they like retire from them for a while and then they don't use it for ages, and then all of a sudden they re-bury themselves into it, like re-dig it up, I mean. So they jump between this one and that one. Interesting. Good morning, everyone, from the garden, and it's looking like we're about to get some, oh sorry, frangipanis. Look how bright and pink they are. It's not as vibrant on, oh, it's not actually that bad. It's quite vibrant in reality. Oh, I can't wait to see these open, and look how many we're going to get. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. So, I am now outside waiting to go into a meeting. When I get home, I'll debrief you properly for the day. Although I suppose I could probably do a little bit of it now. First things first, last night, I am a little bit early, which is great. Remember, a little bit of my New Year's resolution / goals for the year was to try and start being a bit more on time. Well, not on time, early, sorry, for things. I'm always on time. I'm never late, but I'm never early. I'm on time, and I'd like to start being a bit early. Well, I'm 10 minutes early today, so that's good. So, just quickly to utilize some of that time, I want to preface, now that you've seen last night, I have a feeling I'm the only emotional person in my Irish family. Perhaps maybe my auntie and my cousin, and that's probably it. I think the rest of us are very like calm, cool and collected. I am definitely none of those three. That's three things. But my grandparents, their reaction was so calm. And that's not the first time I've seen them have such calm reactions to things. It was like that when my grandfather surprised my grandmother when he came back from the hospital, which is, you know, the pinnacle of surprises. Even my father's reaction when I came to Ireland. Now, I don't take offense to any of this. I know my family. But even my father's reaction when I surprised him in Ireland was like, what the fuck are you doing here? It was nothing like what I would do, which is very much, I'd be so emotional. I'd get up out of my seat. I'd run to the person. I'd probably even cry depending on the circumstances. So I just want to preface, that is how my family are. They are very, very loving, very, very, don't doubt that for a second. I assure you they are the most loving people. But they're just not as expressive, and that's probably because I'm half Arab, and so we're very expressive people by nature. Anyway, also I'm repping today my friend's business that I went and supported at the weekend. I got his shirt as a bit of merch, so I'm wearing that today. I'll show you my outfit properly when I get home. But yeah, so after this meeting, it's a work day, of course, so I need to head back home and get my lesson planning in order, which is pretty much done for today anyway. But also, I wanted to share something else with you. When I get home, I will share with you today's, because I haven't yet, today's Lenten reading. I've been in a bit of a hurry this morning, but remember yesterday after church, I mentioned that the priest was talking about how not only should we give something up for Lent, but we should also take something on. Now, as you know, this year for Lent, I'm giving up all sweet confectionery. But taking something on, I originally said that perhaps it would just be me reading that Lenten program every single day instead of just reading my book. And although I still have every intention of doing that, I think I may have accidentally added something else. Yesterday, oh my Lord, yesterday I just got a burst of inspiration with my writing. And now 2 Lents ago, I gave up social media. And in that time period, it was the most magical period for me. It was the most blessed Lent I've ever experienced because I wrote and wrote and wrote. I wrote more poems in that one period than I ever did in that 40 days than I ever did in my entire life of writing. And I've been writing for at least now 8 years, I believe it's now, or just over 8 years, actually, 8.5. So like yesterday I started writing, and then today as well, this morning, influenced by my priest's speech yesterday. He gave an analogy of, I am in a bit of a hurry. I don't want to, I'm here, but I don't want to go inside on time, so I won't yap too much, shocker. But he gave an analogy about how some trees need fire. It's Ash Wednesday yesterday. Need fire in order for the seed pods to burst open and then grow. And that analogy birthed a poem within me this morning. And so yesterday I wrote, today I wrote, and at the end of it I kind of went, do you know what? Maybe for Lent this year I can take on committing to writing every single day, even if it's just a little bit, alongside reading that Lenten program, which I will do with you when I get home. But anyway, I am going to go into this meeting and I shall see you all when I am back home. All right, I am back home. Actually, do you know what? For someone who's wearing merch, my outfit isn't all that bad. I'm just going to put my drink down and my bag down. Excuse me. Okay, so this is the merch. It's got like, I don't know how I'm going to show you. Hang on. There we go. It's got my friend's branding on the back. Sorry for shaking the camera so much. Okay. Branding on the back. And it says the business here, Sansan. Anyway, one thing, and you guys can let me know what you think. One thing I'm not really sure of when it comes to outfits is wearing work pants with sandals. For some reason, I do feel that work pants need to have flats or boots or heels. I don't really think work pants and sandals go. However, I don't really have white flats, and the flats that I have are sort of this color, but not 100%. And it's also very hot. So I felt like for today, these were the best match as well as the best comfort. I don't think it looks terrible. I just don't think it's necessarily a perfect match. But you let me know what you think. Anyway, gold accessories. I've got my pearls to match my white shirt. And then my map of Ireland pendant, actually, which I haven't worn for a while. I've been wearing so many other pendants other than that, and my usual gold rings. So that is today's look. I'm going to go and get something to eat before I then head into the office. Okay, lunch had, now tea. And before I start work, I'm going to go through, as promised, all the things that I said I would. So with you, I'm going to do the Lenten program. Then I need to do my Bible. Then I need to do at least 1 page at minimum out of my book. With my book, I always have a goal, right? Now, I know that when we're working, it's really hard to read. And the thing with me is, I know a lot of people read outside of their work hours, but it's a bit hard for me because I use a lot of my outside of work hours time, as in outside of tutoring work when I'm not lesson planning or teaching, to practice piano or to spend time with my family or to edit content, if that I've also probably spent during the daytime filming. So it's a bit difficult because I have multiple jobs, if you like. I teach English, I teach piano, and I am a content creator. So there's always something to do. So when it's other school holidays and it's a working time, my goal is to make sure that at minimum, I read 1 to 2 pages, which is usually before prayer. If you've noticed when I'm vlogging, usually I will read 1 to 2 pages before I start prayer. That way, from first thing in the morning, I've achieved that goal for the day. So I haven't done that today because today was so busy. So I will do that now, at least 1 page. And before that, I'm going to go through the Lenten program with you guys for today. So yesterday I read Ash Wednesday's reflection. Where are we? Not there. One back. I can't find. There we go. Okay. Yesterday's Ash Wednesday. It was entitled. Sorry, come back to me with all your heart. And it was basically a little, to summarize for you, a little section on changing through repentance, right? Being able to come back to God through essentially repentance. And it was actually a nice little read. So I'll read now Tuesdays, which is, I appreciate I filmed through the front camera just so I can see what I'm doing. So everything looks flipped to you. But Thursday, the 6th of March, so Thursday after Ash Wednesday is what it reads. And it's titled, Choose Life Then, so that you may live in the love of the Lord your God. So I'll read it to you. Also, in advance, if when this vlog goes live and you notice that I'm doing these, if you would rather that I only just gave you a brief bit of information and you don't want me to read the whole thing, please let me know in the comments. And then the next vlog, when that happens, remembering that a lot of the time when you're seeing a video, the next 2 vlogs are already done, or at least the next 1 vlog is already done. So just let me know if you want me to not do these, and I will. But for today, here we are on the 2nd day of Lent. And many of us are already finding it difficult to fulfill our resolutions. I think God allows this early difficulty precisely to remind us of the essence of Lent, to humbly and simply return to our first love, God, who is love. I'm going to stop it there because if you can tell from my tone of voice, last night when my Uncle PJ came, naturally, because we had, I don't know why I'm getting emotional already, naturally because we've got a guest in the house, the instant Irish thing to do is, tea and biscuits, tea and cake, tea and sweets of some sort. And you'll know that that's what I've given up for Lent. And straight away I was like, and then I was like, no, wait, hang on a minute. How am I already being tempted? Day 1. And so that's really it, like, timing with reading that is great. Okay. We imitate Jesus's 40 days in the desert by putting aside distractions and comforts. With just a little less food, a little less pleasure, a little less coffee or screen time or noise, and we quickly realize how much those things have been getting between us and God, and how hard it can be to remain peaceful without them. That's so true. Now is the perfect time to renew our trust and dependence on God, because we know that He loves us more than we can even imagine. We so easily forget this. God chose to bring us into existence and guide our every moment for no other reason than love. For many of us, it's easier to believe that God loves everyone except ourselves. But He says to us today, to each of us individually, live in the love of the Lord your God, obeying His voice and clinging to Him. Now, this doesn't mean that life will always be easy. There will be crosses to carry. But we can carry them by resting in His unfathomable, eternal, personal love for us. Lord, I so easily forget the greatness of your love. Help me return to you today, my first love. Amen. That was actually quite a wholesome read. I liked that even more than yesterday's, and I did really enjoy yesterday's. But it's so true, especially the part where it's referencing how we can often feel, where was it? Things get in the way. There we go, sorry. With just a little less food, a little less pleasure, a little less coffee or screen time or noise. And we quickly realize how much those things have been getting in the way. Actually, coincidentally, I have been giving up caffeine because I am addicted to it. And I've also been, I suppose I haven't really talked about this a whole lot of late, but I used to. I'm also trying to be more conscious of my screen time. And I've gone from posting every day to every second day. I used to post every day for years. And over the last year, I've been jumping between posting every day to then every second day. And actually this year, I've already taken a week, maybe 2 weeks, 1 week in January and 1 week last month. It's now March the 6th when I'm filming this for your context. And I've already taken 2 separate weeks where I didn't post at all because I just felt I needed the break. Social media is absolutely beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I know it gets a lot of hate, and it also does deserve the hate that it cops, because it is in essence an environment that can foster both good and bad, right? So in terms of the bad, I appreciate why people hate on social media. But as a content creator, I never want to underestimate the beauty that it has brought my life. And I am very grateful to be a content creator, because there's elements in my life that I absolutely love that have come as a consequence of being a content creator. And there are elements that haven't come from that I absolutely love too. So don't get me wrong there. It's not all just social media. But having said all of that, like I've already alluded to, there are a lot of things with social media that I have struggled with, especially when it comes to time. Okay, as a content creator, you need to be on there replying to comments, posting, not just posting videos, posting photos, stories. And then if you're not doing, all the posting, you're editing, you're filming. And then if you're not doing any of that, you're on the feed watching for what the trends are. Because as a content creator, let's face it, we do need to keep up to date with these trends, right? It's just the nature of the job, if you've made it a job. So this is a lot of screen time then required of one individual, and it does actually become quite cumbersome on my life. So that touches home a lot. It really does, when it talks about how that noise from things like coffee or screen time, etc., can really make us distracted. And it's very true. And I'm really glad that I just read that. So what I'm going to probably try and commit to as of today, and I didn't intentionally do that. It's just my thought process happening now. I think I will commit to just posting every second day, so that then on the days that I'm not posting, perhaps I won't open social media, at least not for long. I'll probably open it maybe just to post these, because I know on Instagram people have asked if I can share these with them. Maybe I'll do that for this. But I'm not sure. But maybe what I'll do is I'll only go on social media when I'm posting this, and then not go on at all, and just go on the every other day when I'm posting. I'll think about that one. Anyway, that is the Lenten program for today. I better drink my tea before it goes cold, and then read my book. And then I also want to read a little bit of my Bible further from what the priest was talking about yesterday in church. So let's get to it. I am now 2/3, I would argue, of the way in through my book. I read 2 pages and I have to stop because I need to get ready for work.